Hello and welcome to a new Battle of the Ports Remastered. This time we are taking a look at Capcom's July 1988 arcade release, Forgotten Worlds, or Lost Worlds as it was originally called in Japanese arcades. Originally conceived as a two-man shoot-'em-up in the vein of Contra, Ikari Warriors and Heavy Barrel, Forgotten Worlds morphed into a science fiction fantasy hybrid that became the final game in Capcom's loosely interconnected Jetpack trilogy, consisting of Section Z and Sidearms. The game was designed by some of Capcom's star employees, including Akira Yasuda, Akira Nishitani, Noritaka Funamizu, and Yoshiki Okamoto. In the game, each character's default weapon is slightly different. One player has a long-range rapid-fire gun, while two player has a short-range wide shot. Both are equipped with a rapid-fire satellite similar to R-Type's shooting orb. While the arcade cabinet's joystick manages your direction movement, an accompanying rotary knob, called a rolling switch in Japan, does the really heavy lifting. Want to spin your character 360 degrees? Spin the cabinet's rotary knob. Want to spin your satellite instead? Press down while spinning the knob. Pressing down twice will annihilate your on-screen enemies with a Mega Crush Bomb. Shops were popular in Capcom games and Forgotten Worlds is no different. If you've saved up enough of the in-game currency known as Zenny, you can expand your arsenal at the stores that burst through each stage's terrain, brought to you by the game's lady shopkeeper, Sylphie. Boosters for your satellite's firepower as well as weapon upgrades like the Vulcan Cannon and Homing Laser are here for the taking. Particularly powerful is the Flamethrower and Napalm, which can quickly dispose of most end of stage heavies. In 1989, Arc Developments released a load of home microports. Let's start off with the Atari ST version. Well, as far as looks go, it's not too bad. We have the typical cutbacks, but yeah, we can tell what the game is meant to be. Sadly, all Arc Development versions only have 4 stages rather than the 9 seen in the arcade game. The audio is that typical sound effects or music, but not both simultaneously. No surprise there. But how does the game play? Like shit. That's how. Arc Developments were never a great developer. They made Johnny Bazooka, so that should tell you everything. In this port of the game, you can't move left or right while firing, otherwise your character will spin around, meaning you can't control where you're shooting. What the hell were they thinking? You can only shoot in the direction you want as long as you only move up or down. As soon as left or right is pressed, if you're holding fire, you'll spin like crazy. This makes the game completely unplayable. I can think of a better control system. Have the game auto-fire and then have the fire button rotate the character around when held. This is a much better idea and I didn't even have to think about it. But hey, at least this port has simultaneous 2-player. Yeah, as if that matters with such broken controls.
Did you find the guy? I'll finish you today for sure.
Next up is the Amiga, which at first glance looks identical to the Atari ST version, but in reality there's a load more detail in the stage backgrounds. We get better audio, including the speech between stages, although it's incredibly quiet. And we also have faster loading. But how does it play? Sadly, it's exactly the same as the Atari ST version, which renders this unplayable. Thankfully, I can cheat with this copy of the game, allowing me to show you a bit more of it. Moving on to the 8-bit home micros with the ZX Spectrum 128K version. Yep, same shitty controls here as the Amiga and Atari ST, but now slower and more difficult as your player now has a massive hitbox. Still, at least some attempt was made to add some colour to the game, even if it is rather ugly looking. Moving on to the Amstrad CPC now, and it's good to see that some effort was put into this, rather than just giving Amstrad owners a poor ZX Spectrum port. In a way, this looks like a mini Atari ST port. Sadly, this also has the arse backwards controls. I suspect the other two ARC development ports will also have. Finally, the end of the 8-bit micro ports with the Commodore 64 version, and it's the worst one. It's slow, boring, and yep, you guessed it, same shitty controls. Am I cheating with infinite lives to bring you this footage? Yes I am, and I'm not ashamed to do so. ARC Developments really did suck big time. Thankfully, we only have one more port from them to deal with. first console port came from Sega to the Mega Drive on November 18, 1989. This was a 4 meg cartridge release, which, to be honest, was too small for this game. Sadly, at the time, ROM chips were very expensive. Sadly, this reduction in memory has resulted with the Mega Drive game missing so much, such as stages 6 and 8 being cut, leaving a total of 7 stages, no voice acting during the cutscenes, Japanese messages only written in katakana rather than kanji, and the normal shots for the 2-player being the same as those for 1-player. In addition, the characters are generally smaller, and the animation patterns and backgrounds have been simplified a great deal. The Mega Drive also has 3 buttons, A, B and C, in addition to the start button, but 2 of the buttons rotate the satellite clockwise and counterclockwise, and the remaining button is used for shooting. Users of Sega's 6-button pad can use it with Forgotten Worlds, but do remember, you must start the software while pressing the mode button to switch the 3-button pad compatibility mode. Otherwise, you will be forced to the game over immediately after the end of the first stage demo. Surprisingly, the second console port was actually to the Sega Master System in Europe only. This was developed by Sanritsu and released in July 1991. As to be expected, this also has a lot of cutbacks, such as the removal of parallax scrolling. It is now only a single player game, there are fewer stages, and the appearance and gameplay feel are also very different. Because the Master System only has 2 buttons, shots are always automatic and the satellite moves left or right with the 2 buttons, and pressing both buttons simultaneously will activate a Mega Crash. There are a total of 5 stages, stage 1 from the arcade version, stage 3, stage 4, underwater, an original stage, and stage 7 plus 9. Yet, despite all these cutbacks, this version is actually a lot of fun, and 1,000,000 times better than any of the home micro ports. Also in 1991 came another Arc Development port, but this time for the PC running under DOS. This game is 100% proof that Arc Developments were a bunch of amateurs. This DOS version gives you the option to set fire and rotate button. So it should be just like the Mega Drive, right? Wrong. Holding down the rotate button does nothing, but hold it down while pushing left or right does the exact same thing that all the other Arc Development versions do. What the hell were they thinking? Was everyone inept at that studio? Oh, and yeah, I can't get the audio to work, but it seems that is quite common trying to run this via DOSBox. The final port was to the NEC PC Engine on March 27, 1992. This particular port was developed by A-Wave. Due to the PC Engine's standard pad's 2-button specification, this game was released as a set with the Avenue Pad 3, which increases the number of buttons to 3. That's great! What's not great is that 2-player simultaneous play and parallax scrolling were removed. Still, to make up for that, we do have an awesome arranged soundtrack by Katsuhiro Hayashi. We also get newly recorded voice lines for the cutscenes, but if you wish you can still select the voices by Capcom employees as used in the arcade version of the game. Something a lot of people don't know is that this game is also compatible with the analog pad XE1AP released by Denpa, and by connecting via the port converter, the XHE-3 can also be used. In my personal opinion, this is the best port of Forgotten Worlds outside all of those arcade emulated versions on virtual consoles or compilation packs. Let's take a look at all those versions of Forgotten Worlds running side by side.